to Talk It Out Tuesday. I'm Katie Myers, CEO of CR Conversations.
And I'm Grace Chad, the Relationship Director for CR Conversations.
I just got back from the dentist.
So half of her face is numb because she was at the dentist.
But hey, I got those cavities filled.
Yes, so bear with us today.
So, since we are so dedicated to Talk It Out Tuesday, we want to share with you some goals.
What we're talking about today.
For the year.
Yes, so it's the 9th inning. It's almost November.
Bottom of the 9th.
It's like, well, it's halfway through October.
Yeah.
Bottom of the 9th, it's the fourth quarter of 2016. Are you still participating in good lead generation activities? And should you be? The answer is yes. So we're going to give you some tips on how to think outside the box based on things that you've already been doing this year, but let's add some more stuff again for this bottom of the 9th. Got to get a home run for 2016 lead generation ideas.
So most of you are probably doing a lot of networking as your number one form of lead generation. So what we encourage you to do is kind of, like Grace said, think outside of the box and do some different things to generate people to come into your pipeline. Your pipeline. So the first thing you could do is do some sort of webinar. Bring people in to attract them into learning about your systems or your processes or some type of tips that you can give them to encourage them to come and kind of do business with you.
Yes.
So that is step number 1. Do a free webinar.
All right. Take number 2 is an opt-in. And we don't mean necessarily an opt-in to your newsletter because I think that a lot of people are doing that, especially here in 2016. That was kind of a fad of 2016 is to come up with a really great opt-in, aka newsletter. We're thinking outside the box as far as opt-in goes as well. Meaning an ebook. Sit down and write. Doesn't have to be a big thing. Maybe like 5, 6, 10 pages of something that's super fun.
Yeah.
Check out Katie's ebook. It's awesome.
Thank you. Nice plug.
Yep, no problem there. Checklists, tip sheets, quizzes that have to do with people maybe that have seen you speak, which we'll get to later, and then they go in and maybe take a quiz on what they learned from your speaking engagement. Thinking outside the box for an opt-in, not just a fancy newsletter that maybe people don't want to actually be a part of.
Yes, and if you do have some type of like mailing list opt-in, just don't call it a newsletter.
Yeah.
That's like tip number 1 we can give you there.
Yeah.
So the third tip is speaking. Grace kind of alluded to that. Find opportunities, and no group is too small if you're just starting out. So if you have a networking group where you can get up and talk about your organization, like we are members of the Experience Pros Network, and in our leads groups as members, we get to stand up and do an education piece for about 10 minutes. So finding opportunities to really share about your business, and then you can kind of work backwards. Invite them onto the webinar or get them to opt in, have them download your ebook or download your checklist or tip sheet or whatever that is. So you can kind of accumulate these different lead generation things to make it work best for you.
So we hope that these tips helped you for thinking outside the box in this last home stretch of 2016 because it's going to be gone before we know it. November and December, a whirlwind of family and personal things. Keep trucking.
Yes.
Get some lead generation going, thinking outside the box. Do it.
Yes, and we've got your back. Let us know if you have any questions or comments or concerns, and stay tuned for next week on Talk It Out Tuesday because we are going to have yet another of our collaborative partners sharing their brilliance and wisdom with us. Have a good day.
Bye.